I talked to Israel's former ambassador to the United Nations, and that's Dore Gold. Mr. Gold, thanks for your time. Thanks for joining us this morning.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. Any idea, any guesstimate as to how much longer this will go on?
Well, you know, there are really two narratives clashing right now which are affecting that calculus. The Hamas is trying to put forward the narrative that Israel is moving hard into the Gaza Strip as though Israel one day just decided to do this action. And therefore, many people who perceive in newspaper headlines or news coverage that Israel is the problem want this thing to come to an end as soon as possible. Israel, on the other hand, sees this narrative completely differently. It sees, first of all, that its cities have been hit for 7 years by the rockets of Hamas and other organizations in the Gaza Strip, and it now wants the Hamas to make a firm undertaking that they're not going to fire rockets at Israel. And as long as it takes to get that undertaking, Israel will continue with this military operation. I have to add just one other thing, though.
Yeah.
If Israel is perceived as not securing a victory, that is, bringing about an end to rocket attacks against Israel, that is not just a problem for Israel, because Hamas is part of the Muslim Brotherhood. It's the Palestinian branch of the Muslim Brotherhood. That will hearten and that will embolden radical Islamic organizations in Egypt, in Jordan, and I would even say in Europe itself. And therefore, denying Hamas its military goal of having the right of mukawama, armed resistance against Israel by hitting Israeli civilians, that victory is essential for Israel, and it's also essential for many of our allies abroad.